Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Valrico here, and today we're going to talk about that horrible beta. But first, I'm playing some Quantum Break. This is some random gameplay of various different gunfights. It's a pretty good game. I haven't beat it yet, but it's a solid game. Bought it on Steam, and it's pretty good. Pretty good game. But anyways, let's talk about Dragon Ball FighterZ. Wow. How bad can one beta be? Now, as I'm recording this video, it is 12:46 in the morning, a.m., midnight, January 15th, 2018. And the beta has been out for the whole day, and actually a day before for people who pre-order the game. Now, first things first, I'm not an expert on fighter games. I barely played any. The last time I did play a fighter game was a Dragon Ball game. It was Budokai, and then Ultimate Tenkaichi or something. Just PlayStation 2 era, those Dragon Ball games. I don't remember all the names of them, but I remember putting a lot of hours playing those Dragon Ball games, and I fucking loved them. They were great. So when I heard they were bringing out another 2D Dragon Ball Z game, fighting game, I said, man, let me download this beta and check it out when it comes out. So, I downloaded it on my PlayStation 4 and all that jazz. And I also been watching Dragon Ball Z, trying to get caught back up. I'm in the Majin Buu saga right now. I'm trying to catch back up to the Dragon Ball Super, so I can start watching it every week like I did back in the day. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in such a long time, but I'm gonna try to. I stopped. I always stop around the Majin Buu saga because I don't know, when you start from scratch on Dragon Ball Z, from the Raditz all the way through, I start to lose interest around 230, episode 230, around that era, and that's where it really starts getting good, starts getting action packed. But I recently just, instead of starting over, I just said, let me start from the Majin Buu saga and go all the way through, and then get to Dragon Ball Super. So I was like, let me just do that instead of starting over again. But I downloaded the beta, and I'm like, man, I want to play that shit. This shit looks tight. I haven't played a fighting game in a long time, and it's Dragon Ball Z. It's right up my alley. So let me play this shit. It's not like Xenoverse, which is a RPG kind of game, which isn't bad, but I would rather play a 2D fighter. Although Xenoverse looks tight as well, I might actually get that on a Steam sale or something like that and check that out. But we're talking about this beta. So I download it, I start it up, and you get hit with the failed connection to the network, some shit like that. And I'm just sitting there looking at my TV screen like, really? So I try about 5 or 6 times, then I'm like, alright, fuck it. And that was about 10 o'clock this morning, or whenever the beta, actually the beta came out midnight yesterday. So, it was like 10 o'clock this morning. It was like 12 hours into the open beta for everybody else. For the beta's total link time, it's been out for like a day and a half at that point. So I'm like, the connection should be ironed out when I go check this shit out when I officially start playing. Nope, the connection is absolutely terrible. So I quit, and then I go back about 3 hours later, and I actually finally get in. I finally get into the beta. I set up my account or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, alright, let's get into some fighting. Let's fucking fight somebody. Took me a minute to figure out how to get to the ranked. Like, you have to stand next to a guy and press X. And I couldn't actually see the guy because there was like 30 people huddled up around the guy that you have to click on to start a fight or whatever, start matchmaking. But once you do, you sit there and do nothing for 30 to 35 minutes. I never got into a fight one time. I never got to play. I never got to beat up on nobody. And I don't want to play no training mode. I want to play against other people online and get beat up on. I'd rather get beaten on by somebody online and then learn from that than play against the computer. That's boring to me at this stage in the game. I don't play anything against the computer that much unless it's a story mode game like this. So I sit there for about 30 minutes and nothing happens. Boom. I go back just now, 12 o'clock. This is 2 days deep. 2 days deep into this beta. So-called beta, which is really not a beta. We'll talk about what it really is, which is a demo in a minute. And Still can't. I can't even get into the match, like into the server now. It just hits me with failed connection over and over and over again. That is just unacceptable. Unacceptable. And the reason why it is because this isn't a beta. This is a demo. The game's coming out in 11 days, and I still haven't played one match. Not one match. Imagine what it's going to be like when this game comes out. The connection's still going to be garbage. You're not going to be able to fix it in 11 days. I'm sorry. This is embarrassing. This is probably the worst launch of a game probably I've ever seen. 2 whole days of never playing online. Never enjoying the game at all. 2 whole days. I've never seen that before. Ever. Not even on the worst Call of Duty launches have I ever seen. Like, because at least in Call of Duty, you can get in, you might get kicked out or something like that. That's fine. I have never launched a match and fought. I've never played the game. It's 2 days. This isn't a beta. This is a demo, a glorified demo. And the game's coming out in 11 days. How are they going to fix this? They said, somewhere, I read an article, they said, we might consider extending the beta. Consider? There is no beta. Nobody can get online and fight. Some people can, though. A select few, a select super minority have been able to play online. There's some videos of the game online to where you can watch it and stuff like that. But I want to play it because I was actually considering buying the game. I haven't played a fighter in such a long time. I was like, I need to get a fighting game. Even if I'm trash, it doesn't matter. Let me just get a fighting game just because. I was considering buying the game straight up for the whole full price 60. Considering it. Honestly, if I don't get to play this beta and test it out, I'm not buying it. It's not happening. I'll get it off Kingwin at a later date for the small $20. Because I was actually going to get it on launch night, but obviously, there's no point. There's no point because the connection is going to be terrible when the game comes out. And I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. I want it to succeed. I'm not just trashing the game just because. You know, this is like my favorite pastime, trashing a game when they can't. I don't damage control these multi-million-dollar companies. I refuse. These are multi-million-dollar companies, and they can't even launch betas correctly. That's just unacceptable behavior in 2017. I refuse. Unless you're like an alpha game or something that's on like early access, then I'll relax. But if you're a full price $60 game, full release, and you can't even get your beta correct, whew, what does that say for the full launch? I predict there's going to be connection issues for the first 2 weeks of this game when it comes out. So at that point, I might as well not even buy the game until there's a price cut, because that'll be right about the time when they actually fix this game. This is embarrassing for a multi-million-dollar company to not get a beta launch correctly. It's not that hard. It's really not. I don't want to hear no excuses. It's not. What is the problem? Did they not buy enough server space? Were they cheapskating? What happened? It's embarrassing, dude. It's just embarrassing. 2018 and we still got to deal with these issues. And it's not as bad as it used to be. It's becoming less and less of an occurrence that games don't launch correctly where you can't connect online and things of that nature. At least if that's another thing I thought about. At least they could have an offline mode where you can play against the computer. You can't even do that. You can't even do that. It's an always online. How you gonna have an always online game, but you can't get your online correct? That's despicable. Despicable. What are you gonna do though? It's just embarrassing. But I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'm fucking tired. It's like 1 in the morning, and I'll try again tomorrow. But I probably never get to play this game. They're just going to lose out on the sale because of the fact that they couldn't get their beta to launch correctly. They're losing right now so much sales, so much money right now. Because people who are on the fence like me, which is probably a lot of people who don't really play a lot of fighters, would consider buying this game for $60. but they can't get their beta working. It's just embarrassing. I don't even know why I keep calling it a beta. It's really just a demo. Like I said, 11 days out, it's a demo, not a beta. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, the subscribe button. Tell me what you think about this beta demo in the comment section below. Twitter.com/ValRico, Gab.ai/ValRico, YouTube.com/ValRico, and I'm out of this bitch. Peace.